This is a Cure Media special presentation. I'm VROH and welcome to Lightning News. Coming up on today's program, a universal charger. The EU has voted to make USB-C the universal charger across its member states. We investigate in a Lightning News exclusive. And TikTok under fire. TikTok may face a £27 million fine for breaching user privacy. Just another episode in the saga of legal troubles for the company. All of that and more, plus the latest Inazuma 11 news coming up next. But first, here's the world news summarized in this week's Lightning News Summary. Orbitron?
I'm Orbitron, and this is your Lightning News Summary. In November, the crypto exchange platform FTX collapsed, creating uncertainty on the financial stability of cryptocurrencies. Sam Bankman-Fried, the CEO of the company, took to Twitter to apologize, saying, "I effed up and should have done better." There were mass layoffs at big tech companies as they purged hundreds to even thousands of staff. A workers' protest at an iPhone factory in China turned violent, further worsening Apple's supply chain crisis. Production on Apple devices already had slowed due to China's strict zero-COVID policy. A popular Super Smash Bros. Competitive tournament announced that their 2023 tournament will be cancelled. The tournament is called Smash World Tour, and it's been reported to have been shut down due to an inability to come to a licensing agreement. In December's news, on December 7th, Texas State Representative Jared Patterson filed a new bill aimed at banning social media for minors. House Bill 896 would require users to submit ID for age verification. In a statement, Jared Patterson cited concerns over social media's suspected harm to teens' mental health and an increase of suicide rates. Information detailed in these reports are current as of December 13th, 2022. Lightning News will follow up on any of these news stories if new developments arise, but otherwise check back in 1 to 2 weeks' time for another news summary. In BC, I'm Orbitron with Lightning News.
Thank you, Orbitron. Many stories to get to tonight, but first we lead in with a story that we were supposed to run in October. In October, the European Parliament reached a deal over adopting USB-C as a universal charger. But what does that mean? VROH reports. Currently, there are various charging standards that devices use, though nowadays this fragmentation exists mostly between microUSB, USB-C, and Apple's Lightning connector. In the past, though, it wasn't out of the ordinary for computers, tablets, and phones to use a variety of proprietary chargers. Still, though, some users still have a few grievances. For example, people who use both Apple and Android phones or tablets find themselves inconvenienced by having to use both cables to use their devices. Additionally, they argue that this fragmentation creates excess waste and forces users to spend excess money. Of course, this has put Apple in the spotlight. As of now, Apple is the only major tech company to have their own proprietary charger for portable devices, now that the vast majority of tech companies have already shifted over to USB-C. Apple defended their decision to stand behind the Lightning connector, saying that replacing it would create an unprecedented amount of electronic waste. But now let's talk about the EU. The EU, or European Union, had been pushing for a universal charger for a long time. Traces run as far back as 2009, but real action began in March 2014, just a few months before USB-C was finalized in August 2014. At the time of the draft's inception, the new regulation would amend the already planned Radio Equipment Directive, creating an additional standard focusing on charging standards for phones. The draft law was approved with 550 votes in favor, 12 not, and 8 who chose to abstain. From then, MPs began looking into the potential problems a universal charging solution may cause, alongside the potential benefits. The scope of the proposal also widened in scope to include portable media players, smart home appliances, and more. Alongside this, though, the EU opened up the lines to feedback, to which Apple gave their own. Apple stands for innovation. Regulations that would drive conformity across the type of charger built into all smartphones freeze innovation rather than encourage it. Such proposals are bad for the environment and are unnecessarily disruptive for consumers. They also said that such legislation would not only create mass e-waste, but also will render many devices obsolete for many EU residents. Still, though, the bill went ahead, bringing us to the present day. Following the announcement from the EU, many media outlets have specifically focused on the effect the bill will have on Apple, which, although significant, doesn't tell the entire story. The new law targets electronics manufacturers of all types who aim to do business in the EU. According to their official document, it says, handheld mobile phones, tablets, digital cameras, headphones, headsets, handheld video game consoles, and portable speakers, insofar as they are capable of being recharged via wired charging, shall be equipped with a USB Type-C receptacle, which should remain accessible and operational at all times. But the law expands further than that. This is an HP convertible laptop. On the surface, it may look like an ordinary laptop, but take a look at this connector. This is HP's proprietary laptop charging port, and if you look on the other side of the laptop, you may notice that there's a USB-C port, but don't be fooled. This port is only for supplying data and power, not receiving it. The EU's new regulation targets that as well. Laptop manufacturers have until 2026 to implement this universal charging standard in their products. For portable devices, manufacturers have until 2024. So what does this mean for consumers? Well, if you're outside the EU, it depends. Some manufacturers may make EU-specific models to appease the European Commission, but also allow them to use their proprietary chargers elsewhere, though others may make one universal model that utilizes USB-C. People in 3 of the home nations, England, Scotland, and Wales, will not be affected by this law because of Brexit. The people in Northern Ireland may be affected due to terms set in the Northern Ireland Protocol. That's all you need to know now, though. In New York, at 40J, Lightning News. Now, the latest Inazuma news. Here's Tom Spoors.
Thanks, Edvardi. In November, Nike aired a promo that featured Inazuma 11's Goenji Shuya in commemoration of the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. On December 1st, Akihiro Hino tweeted this image. These are character models for the upcoming Inazuma 11 Great Road of Heroes game. The image was captioned, "Congratulations, congratulations. This is the only thing I have on my PC right now, but I had to do something special to celebrate." Hino tweeted in response to Japan's 2-1 win against Spain during the 2022 FIFA World Cup. When we initially broke the news, we mistakenly reported that the tweet was made in commemoration of Japan's win against Germany. We apologize for the error. On December 4th, the Redux Mods team announced a collaboration patch of their Inazuma 11 Great Road of Heroes mod. The team collaborated with Adri Silva, a Spanish inner-tuber who is working on a ROM hack of his own titled Inazuma 11 Origins. Inazuma 11 Origins, an Inazuma 11 1 ROM hack, tells the story of Mark Evans' grandfather, David Evans. The mod features a complete new story, new movesets, new characters, and a bunch of extra content. According to Redux Mods, the collaboration will add characters from Inazuma 11 Origins in the Great Road of Heroes mod, and vice versa.
Thank you, Tom. Still to come on Lightning News.
You now own 1 square foot of land in Scotland.
Sponsorship sellout. A joint investigation between Lightning News and the World Telegram shows that established titles misled customers. That after the break. Welcome back. Windows Terminal has been made the default console in Windows 11, replacing the well-known command prompt or cmd.exe. On August 24th, Microsoft released Windows 11 Developer Preview Build 25188. Among the various changes in the build, Windows Terminal is now the default console when launching PowerShell scripts and command line applications. In a statement, Microsoft said the following. Windows Terminal is now the default terminal in Windows 11. This means all command line applications will open up in Windows Terminal automatically. Now, it is worth noting that the setting can be changed by going into the settings, clicking Privacy and Security, clicking For Developers, and changing the terminal setting from Let Windows Decide.
In other news, TikTok may be fined £27 million for failing to protect children's privacy.
This news comes from the Information Commissioner's Office, a regulatory body that promotes things like the freedom of access to information.
According to findings from the ICO's investigation, they have come to the provisionary conclusion that TikTok may have breached UK data protection laws between May 2018 and July 2020.
Their investigation found that the company may have processed the data of under 13s without appropriate parental consent, failed to provide proper information to its users in a concise, transparent, and easily understood way, and processed sensitive personal information like ethnic and racial origin, political opinions, religious beliefs, sexual orientation, trade union membership, genetic and biometric data, or health data. It is worth noting, though, that the findings detailed in their report are not final, so there is a chance that no financial penalties will be levied. So far, the ICO has issued TikTok Inc. and its UK dealings company with a notice of intent. This is a legal document which precedes a potential fine. TikTok had 30 days to come up with a formal response. But a TikTok spokesperson said that the company disagrees with the ICO's provisional fine and already has plans to make a formal response. While we respect the ICO's role in safeguarding privacy in the UK, we disagree with the preliminary views expressed and intend to formally respond to the ICO in due course. That's what a TikTok spokesperson said to CNBC. The commissioner, John Edwards, had this to say.
We all want children to be able to learn and experience the digital world, but with proper data privacy protections. Companies providing digital services have a legal duty to put those protections in place, but our provisional view is that TikTok fell short of meeting that requirement. In November, the ICO announced that it would be working alongside Ofcom to, quote, ensure coherence between the data protection and online safety regimes. This partnership begins as Ofcom continue their inquiry into big tech organizations like Apple, Meta, and Google. Here's what that inquiry is about.
The British regulatory organisation Ofcom says they will be conducting an inquiry on the world's biggest tech companies to ensure that their dominance in areas such as cloud computing, messaging, and smart devices works for the people and businesses of Britain. The regulator will firstly focus on Amazon, Microsoft, and Google, all of which, according to Ofcom, collectively generate around 81% of revenues in the UK public cloud infrastructure services market, with their respective Amazon Workspaces, Azure, and Google Cloud services. Major organisations in the UK have grown reliant on these services, including government organisations like MI5, MI6, the Government Communications Headquarters, and the Ministry of Defence. In 2018, less than 10% of all businesses' global IT spending was for public cloud services. This rose sharply to reach 17% in 2021 as the COVID-19 pandemic increased the need for remote working. Analysts are projecting that number to rise even further to 45% by 2026. Later, they'll also be inquiring into messaging and collaboration apps like WhatsApp, FaceTime, and Zoom, saying that they are, quote, interested in how they are affecting the role of traditional calling and messaging. Finally, Ofcom will focus on smart speakers and other Internet of Things home devices. Depending on their findings, Ofcom will do one of the following. Take competition or consumer enforcement action, make a market investigation reference to the Competition and Markets Authority. Accept undertakings in lieu of making a market investigation reference.
This is a Lightning News Newsflash. I'm with VROH J in New York. We have a very short newsflash for you tonight because, as promised by Level 5 CEO Akihiro Hino, we have some brand new images and even a gameplay trailer for Inazuma 11 Victory Road of Heroes. Hino explained that recently they have been unable to produce a satisfying output of content due to company circumstances such as the delivery date and planned budget. However, the blog post reaffirmed the gameplay mechanics set by Hino in his earlier blog post. He says that more information will release in February 2023, and we'll be there to cover it like we always have. We'll play out this report by showing you this video posted by Hino that showcases everything you need to know. Established Titles, a Hong Kong-based souvenir company, misled customers, a November 2022 Lightning News investigation has found. Established Titles is a service that allows people to buy plots of land in Scotland in exchange for the entitlement to use the terms Lord, Lady, or Laird on their documents. More details from our investigation and a full report is available by visiting the link on your screen now. But that's all for the news tonight. We thank all of you for watching, and hopefully you've been enjoying our new look and sound tonight. We close out the program with a segment we like to call Your Desktop. Every week we'll showcase a viewer-submitted photo of their desktop setup, whether that be how their computer OS is set up or how their computer room is set up. No matter what it is, we want to see your wacky desktop setups. If you're interested in submitting your images, email them to viewers@curemedia.net or send them through our social media channels. Tonight's Your Desktop is from our fellow reporter and colleague Nova, and that's where we end the show tonight. For myself and the entire Lightning News team, stay safe, get some rest, and we'll see you all very soon. Happy New Year.